guys, welcome to Two Jews Making Food.
Or TJMF.
I am Rebecca.
And I am Amy, and we're going Kugelicious today.
Kugeliciousing
We
today.
are.
Oh, that's hard
we
to
are
say.
meshugganah, Kugelicious.
And we're going extreme because we're going to
yes.
do something a little sweet and something a little savory.
Savory, yes. I'm doing a savory kugel from a temple in Larchmont. That's where the recipe came from, yes.
I have to say, I've never had a savory kugel, but I'm super into this idea. Because
it's essentially a Jewish mac and cheese.
Oh, yeah. That's delicious.
I mean, that's what I've decided.
So a kugel, for anybody who doesn't know, is basically a noodle pudding. It's kind of like there's bread pudding, and this is a noodle pudding. It's a little bit different. It's delicious. Even if you're not Jewish, you could bring this particular dish to any party, and people would be so happy you came. They would be so happy to see you, and they would talk about the dish when you leave.
If you're not Jewish and you're going to somebody's house who's Jewish and you bring it, they'll plotz as a.
What does that mean?
Oh.
They'll plotz?
I think, wasn't that a Yiddish lesson? I think plots. Oh, they'll plotz, they'll just drop with excitement.
Oh, well, hey, plots all over the place. Or
and
maybe don't, if that's not the right.
One interesting thing about kugel, in my mind, as I was making one yesterday, there's this great movie, Liberty Heights, Robert Altman. It's really his story growing up in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. And at one point, the little boy who's him, he goes to a friend's house who's not Jewish. And his mother, who's played by Bebe Neuwirth, says when he comes home, he goes, "So what'd you do? Did you have a good time?" And he's like, it was all right. But, she's like, "What'd you eat?" He's like, I don't know. He's like, everything was white. White bread, white milk. And I will say that, so I always joke oh, Jews don't eat white food, but we do.
We eat mush. I find a lot of things are kind of like a mush.
But there's a lot of white in kugel. So
yes,
as I was pouring it into my dish yesterday, I was like, this is very white.
Well, I'm looking at it all.
Yeah.
It's literally just.
It's a lot of white.
Oh, but it's so good. It's
good.
worth it. It's so easy. That's what I love about kugel, is that people think you spent all this time making it. It's the most simple thing to make.
Yeah. People eat it for Hanukkah.
Oh, yeah.
They eat it, really whenever. The only time you can't have noodle kugel, which is what we're making,
yes,
Passover, because you can't have any sort of flour.
Although I have a fabulous matzah. It's spinach.
Really?
Kugel. No, it's delicious. I know, you make that face.
Because potato
it's really
kugel
good.
to me is like,
oh, no, it's so
good. I've never had a good one.
I'll make it for you. It'll be fine.
Yakety
All right, I think we should.
Are we going to start with a cocktail?
We're going to start with the cocktail today. Now, I have to say, Amy was like, let's do gimlets. And when she said, let's do gimlets.
Because it sounds Yiddish.
What did we call it? It was a
geschmack gimlet.
A geschmack gimlet?
Which is delicious.
Delicious.
Geschmack is delicious.
Geschmack is delicious. So
the geschmack gimlet.
We thought it would be fun. But I have to say, I was like, all right. I don't know that I've ever even gone into a bar and ordered a gimlet ever. But I made it, and they're really tasty. Do you drink these?
I do like a gimlet. Okay. However, I think it's traditional to have a gin gimlet.
Yes.
But neither of us like gin. So
the only time I like gin is with Saint Germain in it. It's literally the only way I can drink it. It's like the perfect summer drink. I love it. Anyway.
You still get the same hangover though.
For a different well.
If you drink too much.
Then just don't do that. Okay, so we're starting with, it's about 2 ounces of vodka. We're using vodka today because that's what we like.
Yes.
And then it is, you know what? Cutting board.
Voila.
It's just, I use fresh lime juice. Some people like to use, Rose's lime or whatever it is, but back when they originally created this drink, it wasn't made with any kind of additives. I think it was more natural, we'll say. And it's not now. So I like to use fresh lime because why not? Fresh lime is always good.
It's better.
I should have brought with me my juicer.
Since we're not in California, we can't get lime super fresh from our farm stand that we love to go to.
That's right.
But farm stands, we don't go to the same one. but
although I
yes,
think we
fresh
discussed
lime juice from a lime.
From a lime.
And I did see you didn't do your squeezing that I do, but what I do when I squeeze limes is you roll them first to release the juices.
All right, so there we go. There's a bunch of lime in there.
And sometimes the limes that we get here are not very juicy, so the more you roll them, the more juicy they get.
Roll them. Okay, so
how much lime juice was that? Like a whole lime? No.
It's about what is it? It's 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. And now I have about 3/4.
You squeezed like 3/4 of a lime. No, you squeezed 2 limes.
I find that 3/4 of an ounce is about 1 lime.
1 lime, okay.
So now it's the sour mix, which I didn't realize how simple sour mix is to make. It's basically 1 to 1. 1 cup of warm water to 1 cup of sugar, and you mix it around and that's your simple syrup.
Sugar, so it's not sour simple syrup. It's just
No,
simple
I'm
syrup.
sorry. No, it's not sour. It's just
I should
simple.
change the recipe.
Oh, you're like, what? No. What I was actually thinking in my mind was don't use sour mix from the grocery store.
That's gross.
Just make simple syrup at home. It's so much better. It's so much better. So to this, we add about 3/4 of an ounce. And then
Or
you just,
a shot glass full.
well, a shot glass is about 1 1/4. This one is. So if I didn't fill it quite all the way up, it'd be a little bit about 3/4 of an ounce.
Rebecca used to work in the cocktail industry.
Yeah, make that money. All right.
That's a very vague reference.
Used to work in the cocktail industry. Okay,
We'll
Amy.
leave that up to you to figure out.
So look her up on the
Oh, it's
internet.
done already. You'll find a lovely mother with her children.
Look up on the internet.
That looks so refreshing.
So now what I did was I like the way rounds look. I cut little rounds, and you just make a little slice here in the middle, and it opens it up so it looks like a little Pac-Man, and it fits right on the side.
Super cute.
What? It's like, don't try to like push a lime onto the glass. Cut it. Don't be that person at the party. Here we go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Oh, cheers to life.
Oh, that is really good.
Right?
Ah,
It's so good.
so good.
I was
It's
shocked.
like, it's a very hot day today
It's warm.
for what should be a colder month. So this is like
But I have to say,
back to summer.
I have to say that when you're making warm food like this, and I typically make stuff like this in the colder months, something super light and kind of fruity. I mean, you can get limes in any season at this point.
Yes.
It just kind of cuts the heat of the food, the warmth of the food. It's a little something cool, a little something hot, and it's delicious. So Amy,
I love it.
did you turn our oven on?
I did.
What did you turn our oven on to?
350.
Yeah, girl.
Both of ours, savory and sweet.
Both
are
350.
350. You're going to, both of us are actually going to do this because
Yeah, we
this
are.
is the same for both. Butter your or grease your baking dish. You can use butter. You can use. It looks like you've got spray.
I brought spray just to show people. You just do it a little different.
Well, I like butter,
I like butter too.
so I'm using a little bit of butter to. See.
My husband's like, are you trying to coat the house whenever I do that? And I'm not. I'm just trying to keep it from sticking to the pan.
So we've coated our baking dishes with butter, and it's like it's like this size is like a standard.
Mine's a 9 by 13.
Yeah, I'm not using a traditional one, but it's
No.
approximately the same as 9 by 13.
beautiful.
I'm gonna throw that
Actually, I'm gonna
butter
rub this
away.
in there, too.
So we've buttered our baking dishes, and now for mine,
Tell me.
tell me. So I've got about 8 ounces of medium egg noodles. We already cooked them to save time, but you have to boil them till al
You
dente.
do not want to watch us boil noodles.
No. So full disclosure, mine are a little overboiled. Rebecca's look perfect, but so they should be al dente. So like 5 minutes, maybe 6 or 7, depending upon the noodle. Keep checking it.
Yes. So when you boil these noodles, I find the key is don't cook them all the way. Leave them, like she said, a little al dente, but salt the water. It's really important to salt the water, and don't like add a small sprinkle to the. Put salt in it. Make it like a little ocean salty. Like get brave and put the salt in, because it just, again, it's kind of a sweet dish, so that little bit of salt in the noodle really helps to kind of even out all the flavors.
Yes. And salt always brings out the flavors.
Oh, salt is so good.
Okay. So I am putting in.
Do it.
1.5 cups of sour cream. I'm sorry, 1.5 cups of cottage cheese.
Yeah.
I made a mess.
Already.
It should be.
Oh, Amy.
It should be with curds.
Really?
Some people like big curds. Some people like small curds. As
I like
long as
small
it's with curds. I said 1.5 cup. We'll just do
You
this.
said 1.5.
1.5 cups of cottage cheese.
All right, well, I'm gonna follow you. And now mine is just 1 cup.
Only 1 cup of cottage cheese. So mine's 1.5 for the savory.
No, I'm sorry, how much noodles did you put in?
Oh, mine's 8 ounces.
Mine's 8 ounces
approximately.
too. Yeah. It actually makes a bunch.
And then also,
Although, why do they sell it in 12-ounce packages? It's 12-ounce packages, and most of the recipes are
but it's very
called
annoying.
for 8 ounces. So then you have 4 ounces left over. It's a whole thing.
So then, again, 1.5 cups of sour cream. As we said, really white. Yes, 1.5 cups of sour cream.
All right, so I'm
What's yours
adding
doing? What are yours?
1 cup of sour cream.
1 cup of sour cream. So maybe because mine's savory, it's got more of that sour.
I look forward to
flavor.
finding the difference between these two.
Well, mine's not sweet
Yes, but there must be a reason why, Amy.
because it's savory.
It's savory. All right.
Okay, what's next? Let's see. Mine now has a half a medium onion, chopped or minced. There it is. But when I made a test round, I feel like it didn't have enough. So if the onion's super small, I would do 2.
Okay. Is that a white onion?
I did a yellow onion.
Yellow onion.
And then, sour cream is so delicious. And then a clove of garlic chopped. So I've got that in there. And then I'm going to get rid of that. I've got, let's see. Will you take that away?
I can.
Thank you. This is like a little bit of salt and pepper. Like I do like a bam. I did it again with the bam.
Oh my gosh, you and Emerald.
I know. A little bit of Tabasco for a little bit of heat. It says
Yes.
a dash of Tabasco. My husband likes things spicy. I'm mildly spicy. I'm mildly spicy.
Spicy.
But I like Tabasco, so I can handle it.
Oh,
and then a little bit of fresh ground pepper.
Yes.
And what are you doing with yours now?
Well, I
So
was
that's
waiting
all
for
that
you.
goes into my. Oh no, and then Worcester. Sorry, I forgot a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, which I'm going to put in now.
The fact that you say it is just great.
Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire. Okay, I throw in, it is 1/4 cup sugar. Just throw that right in. And about a teaspoon of cinnamon. And that is, oh, almost. And then,
Worcestershire sauce is so good.
it is so good. I'm actually surprised.
My husband hates fish, but he
goodness.
knows that Worcestershire sauce has anchovy in it, and he just deals with it. He like pretends it's not real because he likes Worcestershire sauce.
He pretends it's not real.
Yeah, he just ignores that, but he'll complain about all
How
the
I
other
feel
fishy
about
things.
mayonnaise. When I eat things with mayonnaise in it, I just pretend it's not in
Another
there.
white thing that Jews use a lot because it's parve, meaning it is. It can be used with either meat or fish.
All right, so I've mixed this around just a touch. Now, you don't have eggs in yours?
No eggs.
All right, I have 2 eggs in mine. Come on, Rebecca, give it a, there we go.
Come on, Rebecca.
Come on, girl. Okay.
And we're mixing.
These are lovely farm fresh
need
eggs.
any
So
of
they're
this
like
now.
nice
Don't need
yellow.
this.
Because I went to my farm stand. You know how much I love farm stands. Because if you don't live near one,
Move.
exactly.
This is our new motto.
If you don't live near a farm stand,
move.
Because why not live near one? Oh my gosh, it's so much better when things are fresh. And everyone agrees.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong.
It always
with
makes me
fresh
sad when
ingredients.
that's when I truly long for our homeland of California. We're both from California. When it gets really cold and the farm stands close and
Oh, I can't get avocados. So sad. All right, so I mixed this up, and I'm going to throw it into my bowl.
I'm mixing mine.
Do it, Amy.
Okay.
My bowl is heavy. And now I like to take every last inch of anything that's in this bowl out.
This is so ridiculously
Don't
easy.
leave it behind, because that is just sad.
For a change, I'm not schwitzing. This is so easy. I'm not schwitzing.
Well, there you go.
Meaning I'm not sweating. Sorry.
Actually, what's nice about this is you can even make this days ahead of time. Like if you're
Yes.
going to a party, you can make it, a day or two. It keeps. It's beautiful. You reheat it. It's delicious.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Okay, so now my favorite part is the butter. Oh, let me do this first. I like to sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon on top
Yes.
as well.
Cinnamon or cinnamon sugar?
You know what? I forgot the rest of the sugar at home, so I don't have sugar to
So
sprinkle
today,
on.
just cinnamon.
So today's just cinnamon, but if I was at home making this, I would add like a sprinkling. I'm talking about like a tablespoon's worth. I'm not going to get insane with the sugar. I don't think it's required.
Got a noodle on my hand.
What?
Yeah.
All right, now's my favorite part. I have 3 tablespoons of butter, and now I just
That is crazy.
do this and I dot it on top with my clean hands.
I'm putting mine in. Oh, let's
Do it, Amy, do it.
Let's do this. It's a lovely sound. Smushing.
Now, Amy, is there cheese in there?
Cottage cheese is the cheese.
That's the only cheese. Okay.
Well, there's some. Well, it gets garnished with a little Parmesan on.
Okay, I was going to say, there has got to be more than just that cheese.
The cheese is the cottage cheese.
All right.
And I think that's
Fine.
part of why you want it to be a cheese that's very curdy because it makes it more cheese.
A little heftier.
Yes.
Less mush, more curd.
Less mush, more tush. That should be my motto.
Does that work?
No,
Less
but I have a
mush,
big
more
tushy.
tush.
Anytime I pass by somebody and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I got a big tushy.
Don't yell
I
that
do.
out.
I do. What, I gotta own it.
Of course you do, Amy. Of course you do.
Baby
Of
got
course you yell
back.
that out.
Baby got back. We're never sure what we're going to start singing at any point, and sometimes it's, what is that, Sir Mix-a-Lot?
I think so.
I think it is.
All right, so mine's ready to go in the oven. I'm ready. I'm set to jet.
Little in the middle, but you got much back.
All right, I'm going to drink while you're finishing whatever
Please
you're doing
do.
over there.
All right. Okay, I've spread mine around.
Oh, that's, yes.
Thanks. Now you sprinkle it with a little bit of Parmesan cheese, about like a tablespoon or so. But what I did, because I like to always make something more my own than what the recipe says, sorry ladies of Larchmont Temple, I sprinkled in a little bit of cayenne pepper.
They are mad right
Just
now.
a little bit into my Parmesan to make, to give it a little extra heat. Because again, like I said, my fella likes things spicy.
Larchmont, are you taking notes?
Don't listen, ladies of Larchmont. I once dated a
There
guy
might be a
from Larchmont.
man there
so I
that
hope I
makes
know.
this. One guy in Larchmont who makes.
Manny Fernandez of Larchmont is probably not going to be watching this. I have a tendency to date men who aren't Jewish and marry
And
them.
then marry them.
Hence the Kirwin, by the way. That's my married name.
Steinhaus.
These people wonder,
Kirwin.
like, she doesn't sound like she's Jewish. That name. All right.
All
Then,
right, come on.
all right already. So then we got some fresh chopped chives on the top.
Okay.
Again, for making it more savory.
I love that. I love how bright it is.
It's very bright. It takes away from the whiteness, which is so white. Okay, so ours are ready to go in the oven.
Sweet.
So we're going to put these in the oven. And while we're doing that, we're going to go to the Yiddish lesson of the day.
Are we going to kick it to your
We're
dad?
kicking it to my dad in SoCal, San Pedro, California. Take it away, Al.
Girl.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Amy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing? Nice
Doing
hat. Guildhall represent.
Guildhall hat, and what are you wearing? What kind of hat
This
are
is,
you
this is
wearing?
I'm wearing a Jacques Cousteau hat.
Are you gonna go do some deep sea diving?
I just might.
Okay,
I'm
sounds
gonna go
good.
to Yes. So what do you got for us today? What's the Yiddish word of the day?
Nosh, N-O-S-H, which means a snack, a tidbit, a bite, a small portion, something you grab in between meals, like a cookie.
What is this? I've never heard of such a thing as a small portion.
You never, well, a small portion is being.
What is that? Yeah. So,
You know,
and it's also to nosh, like it's kind of like a verb and a noun.
yeah, you could say tu nosh, or you can call somebody.
Where
a
should we go
nosh.
to get a nosh?
You can go to a buffet. You can
Let's go to Cantor's to get a nosh.
You go to a deli. Although
Yeah.
when you go to a deli, you're going to eat more than a nosh.
More than a little bite, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you might
know.
just you might go for a snack, which might still be a massive
Well,
sandwich.
You know, you could be walking down the street in Manhattan and you feel hungry. And you can see one of those hot dog vendors. Get a little hot dog. That's a
It's a
nosh.
nosh, yeah. All right. I had a little nosh. Are you hungry
Yeah.
though? Fine, I had a little nosh.
No, you know, a bowl of
Yeah.
M&Ms. Take a handful
Yeah.
of them. That's a nosh.
I think
Got it?
a whole bag's enough.
Well, that's.
You know how
Okay.
Jews are. We eat one meal and we're already talking about the next one. So even if you just had a little nosh, you're already like, all right, what am I going to nosh on later? What's going on?
Okay, nothing's going on. Just
And Lovely view of your teeth and your nostrils.
I don't have teeth.
Anyway, well, that makes it harder to nosh.
Yeah, well, my tooth is broken. I got to get a new one.
All right. Well,
You have to put up with the space.
all right, well, I love you anyway,
Well, me
toothless or
too.
not. All right. Well, thank you for this another wonderful Yiddish lesson, nosh.
Would
Now
you
we're
like
going to have a nosh because we're making kugel.
Yeah, kugel. That would be a total nosh.
That's a lot of nosh.
Have a piece of kugel.
Okay, that's a whole other lesson. All right. I love you, Dad.
Love you too, Amy.
Give Mom a kiss for me.
I will.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh my God, I love your dad. He's so cute.
He said something else Yiddish, like a piece of kugel. I don't know.
Oh.
We have so much time. we're just going to enjoy our drink.
Well, I wanna
smell
eat.
this kugel. I know it's very hot.
That's true. It did just come out of the oven.
Thanks to the magic of television,
Magic.
we have fresh kugel in a different dish. So clearly that we made this earlier.
Mine
But,
looks the same, Amy.
Oh, yours does. I have a different dish.
Where's your consistency?
So we're cutting our
It's so
kugel.
hot. It's all right.
No.
No, I know. I'm using this like
So yeah, so again, so we both made ours in advance yesterday just for the show and then put it in the fridge, right?
I actually have to make it and then hide it from my family.
Oh, geez.
So that way they're not they eat it. Like yesterday, I was making latkes, and they were eating them faster than I could even make them. I had to cut them off.
There was literally nobody at my house when I was cooking.
Your dogs didn't
except
try
the
to eat?
dogs, and they, they do try because they're
Oh my gosh, this looks amazing. I want to
cheeky
eat this right now.
dogs. But
I'm eating a piece that fell on the side.
I want to know more about your matzah kugel.
Oh my gosh, it's so
Can you
good.
share a little bit about that?
No, I'd have to relook up the recipe. I have no idea what it is. I make it one time a year, and every time, when I was going to get the recipe for this, I called my mother, as I do, and I'm like, Mom, I can't find the recipe again. I've lost it in I tried to take a picture of it, keep it in a file, so that way in my folder, no matter where I am in the world, I can always access my recipes. And of course, I couldn't find it, which defeats the whole purpose of putting it into a file. So I call my mother. I call my mother for everything. Anytime
too.
I ever need any kind of recipe help, I call my mother. Jewish recipes,
Oh God, mine's falling
non-Jewish
apart.
recipes.
Don't judge, mine's falling apart.
It's falling apart. Oops.
Yeah.
Mine's on the counter.
Probably, a little hot there. Just probably because my noodles were, like I said, they were a little overcooked. Listen, it happens. It's not the end of the world.
It's still going to taste
I'm sure
good.
it's still going to taste good. I'm not worried about it. I'm gonna wash my hands.
Oh my gosh, this is very hot.
Well,
and it also falls apart a little bit as you're cutting it if it's a little too hot.
yeah.
You don't let
right.
it set.
Normally we would wait. Actually, that's the thing. You're supposed to let this cool for a while, but we don't have that luxury. So
I don't know that you're supposed to even eat this like hot per se.
you can eat kugel hot, warm, cold.
Yeah, I was going to say you can eat at room temperature.
Especially sweet kugel.
Yes.
Really, you can eat at any
How do
temperature.
you feel about raisins in kugel?
Oh, see, we didn't get to. This is what I meant to talk about. So, yes, a lot of people put rehydrated raisins in their kugel. They might use rehydrated cranberries,
Please don't
apricot,
make me that.
apple. I saw pineapple.
Oh, pineapple. I
That
made
might
a
be good.
pineapple one. My mom has a
Really?
recipe for a pineapple one. It's actually delicious. I know. You hear it and you're like, well, that sounds kind of weird. But I made it and
I
it was
think
good.
it sounds really good. So I would probably do that.
I think it sounds weird.
Like you, I think I prefer
I
it
ate
kind
it.
of au naturel with no
I
things,
don't do raisins.
but
Currants or whatever, whatever they are.
currants.
Currants.
You're so fancy.
Girl,
Currants.
you know me. So fancy.
So fancy. No, my mom was telling me about a friend of ours named Sharon Gross,
Sharon.
who's from Temple Bethel in San Pedro, California.
Oh, hey,
and Sharon, although I don't have the recipe, but I can always share it later. She puts, she makes her kugel with,
Tell me.
oh my God, my brain, cornflakes on top. Have you ever seen that before? So she actually
No.
puts cornflakes. She might even mix them with a little cinnamon sugar, cornflakes on top.
cute.
I think that'd be delicious because there's also that nice like texture.
I find that most of
differentiation.
the recipes come from Temple, people at Temple, and then you change them because you don't like what they gave you. Do you find that? I find a lot of Jewish people do that.
I
They're
can't
like,
say that I've ever find that I don't like what they make.
really?
Yeah, because it's always delicious.
Well, no, it's not that it's gross. It's that I think I can make it better. And that I think is true for Jewish
true.
cooking across the board. That when a Jewish person gives you a compliment on Jewish food, that's like a really big
huge.
compliment because everybody likes their own family food the best. They always think it's the best. That's why I'm like, you're going to eat it. It's going to be my way of doing it.
And there's a huge sense of pride when
Oh,
you know yours is
absolutely.
the best. Like Rebecca knows that I will pat myself on the back for my mandel bread, which is for Passover. It's a dessert.
It's only second to mine.
No. This is
100%.
one place where we differ and we argue. I'm gonna get some plates.
Although mandel bread, honestly, mandel bread is delicious no matter who makes it for you.
Yes.
Any recipe is delicious. But kugel's the same
We'll get
thing.
to that, but
We got time.
kugel's
I mean,
the
not
same thing.
today.
But yes, I will say that my mandel bread is internationally known. It is.
I'm not singing that song.
No?
Mandel bread's not international.
Known to rock the microphone.
But
So,
it is delicious. In fact, I've had it and it is wonderful. So, but there is an extreme sense of pride about cultural food and who makes it best.
Yes, and I'm sure, and if that's that's the case with a lot of cultures, obviously.
Oh yeah, but that's why I love eating. I love trying it. I love new things.
Me too.
It's people's history. It's people's families. That's like the best part. It's the best part of all of this food. It's that some people are like, oh, that's not my culture. I wouldn't eat that. You don't have
Yes,
to have
I've converted
it be.
a lot of people with mango bread.
Yes.
Like they're like, I don't know what that is, and then they eat it and they're like, this is an unusual taste because of the matzah cake meal versus
Because
flour.
they think it's going to be.
but
What is
they
it,
love the
biscotti.
unusual taste.
They think it's going to
Yes.
be biscotti, and it is not because it's soft. In my
Well,
mine is
soft.
softer.
Yours is soft. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yours is very good.
Ugh,
It's excellent.
I know. It's very good.
So hey, so give me some of yours. I gave you some of
okay.
mine.
Okay. Do we have forks?
Yes, they're in that drawer right there.
Oh, okay.
I'm cleaning up my mess because I'm very messy.
Sorry, I used my fingers.
Oh.
I washed them
Thank
recently,
thank
all the time,
goodness.
constantly. All right, here we go.
All right, it's tasting time.
Amy, where did you put
In
the
that
forks? Oh,
There, under there. Oh, wait. Oh, no, did I take them out?
there's legit no forks in there.
Oh, here they are. Voila, forks.
All right, I'm going savory. Here we go.
Yeah, I've got to start with savory.
I've never had it before.
You know what? Neither have I.
My mom was like, "You're making a savory kugel? I don't even know what that means." Well, that's
That was very
delicious.
good. So I make, my mom always made this comfort food for, here, crunch, for my family, which was literally just egg noodles and cottage cheese, a little bit of
Yeah.
salt. And so
Oh, yeah.
that's always just like comfort food. Really all of this is.
Although, you know what's funny? When I had my wisdom teeth out, I basically ate that. Because it is very comforting when you're uncomfortable,
Yeah.
like your wisdom teeth removal.
When I, so I'd make it for my husband too, and I throw in a little bit of Tabasco or buffalo sauce, really good.
Yes, I love
And
buffalo
so I
sauce.
just like do that with the egg noodles. It's so delicious. All this really is
I'm sorry, I'm too busy eating.
is egg noodles with cottage cheese, but instead it's also sour cream and a
butter.
few other things. But it's just a baked version of egg noodles and
So
cottage
good.
cheese.
Keep talking to me.
But very rich and really delicious. Got a little bit of hint of spice in it, right? Not too spicy though.
I love the crunchy top.
I think you can get away with that little bit of cayenne pepper in the Parmesan. It really didn't make it that spicy. All right, I'm going in for yours. Wait,
So,
cleanse my palate.
if you have somewhere to go where you want a really simple, easy, quick dish that people are going to like, this is it. Kugel.
Delicious.
Noodle pudding is the
So
way to go.
good.
It's so good.
Well, thank you all for tuning in
Thank you so
to
much.
TJMF. I am Amy.
And I am Rebecca. And we will see you next week for more schmaltz and shtick.
L'chaim.
Yay, cheers.
Cheers.